Welcome back, everybody, to the weekend show where I'll be doing technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please hit that like button. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, if you want to support the channel and get all types of daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out that link down below in the description for Patreon. And if you go for that annual membership, which I recommend to everybody that is actually serious, they want to join, that is the one to go for, and you do save some money there with the annual membership. Now let's get right into the market. Well, you can see the futures market just opened and not much really happening, guys. I mean, you talk about, people calling things out on YouTube and on X that things just gonna get worse. There is a war going on. Absolutely nothing going on. Nothing will happen. Oil jumped up nearly 3%, but we saw a 7% jump on that news before and nothing really happened. Pretty much gave away all the gains on Friday. So going into tomorrow's session, we'll see how that works out. Dow was down on Friday 1.79%, Nasdaq down 1.30%, S&P down 1.13%, Russell down 1.83%. 11 sectors. Leading the way on top, energy. Risk off move, we talked about it, and we'll see, like I said, how that plays out tomorrow. Stock market map, nothing big really going on except some of these semi names selling off on Friday. Nvidia, Broadcom, AMD, QCOM. Microsoft was down 0.82%. We got Apple down 1.38%, Meta down just over 1%, Google was down 0.5%, Amazon was down 0.5%, and Tesla, despite the sell-off here in the market, was up on the day 1.94%. And now let's talk about Apple stock and see what is going on and where Apple is heading next. On Apple, stock is down 1.38%, and you can see right on my screen, Apple actually breaking this wedge pattern, and now it's actually breaking this trend line as well, and it's trading below this critical level, which was holding for a couple days. As a matter of fact, couple of weeks right here, 198, and now it's trading below that. So definitely risk off here on Apple as long as it's under 198, but this is a great opportunity to possibly go long here on Apple stock. And why? Because Apple is down from 52-week high to 59, let's say 260, round numbers, now trading at 196. So you're getting a massive discount. Now, whenever Apple comes down and people get bearish, they think Apple is done. Apple will likely to go right back up. It's just a matter of time. And if you have the patience, you're going to make money on it. So in my view and my opinion, I think it's a great setup, even though the stock is breaking down from this wedge. So going into tomorrow's session, 198, if we can get above that level, that's going to go up to 200 to 201. And you can see why that is the level, because you got all these moving averages stacked up right here. If we can get over this trend line here, which is going to be 207, that is when Apple is going to go and possibly will close these gaps to the upside. Far as right now, just watch if this thing can actually get above 198, then right here at 200 to 201, and then 207. Below 198, next support 194, 190, and then 185. On AMD was down 1.97%. So AMD just pulling back from this high right here, 125-ish, and we gapped down on Friday. We did not close this gap, and if you look at my screen, it's holding on to this 115, 116 range because you got the 20-day moving average. Now, if there is some sort of a gap down, which I don't think there is going to be a gap down tomorrow, AMD can hold right here at 116. It can possibly go back up to close this gap 118. And if we don't get a big rejection here, AMD heading higher back up to 122 and then 125. Now, in the event where AMD breaks below 116, the 20-day moving average, and you can see there was rejection, now that can act as a support. Even right here, this thing will likely to come back below 116 all the way down to 110, 108, and then this gap comes into play just under 104. On Microsoft, it's down 0.82%. So I do have a short position right here on Microsoft. We took a gain on Friday after selling those short-term puts on Friday that we took day before. After selling here, I mean, you can see Thursday we took these puts right here and then we sold and got back in again because it was trading near 480. So I mean, upside is really limited here on Microsoft. There is no well target above 480, nothing, at least so far up until now, nothing going on. So I think in the short term, it does have more downside. If this thing actually, if you look at my screen, 474 does not hold 5-day moving average, it can definitely come back to 465 to retest previous all-time highs, and maybe from there it can go much, much lower, like 455 to even this gap down here below 454. On Meta, it's down 1.51%. So Meta perfectly holding into the closing on Friday, 682 right here. And we're just retesting the support right here. So Meta, as long as it's over 482 or 682, it can push back up to 693 and then 700 all the way back up to previous all-time highs, which is at what, 740 plus, right? To the downside, 682 gives up. Then the next support would be right down here at 664, and that is in line with this rising 20-day moving average. So that should hold if we get some sort of a move down here, and that could be a buying opportunity as long as the support can hold on Meta. On Amazon, stock is down 0.5%. So Amazon went back up, came back to 209, but at the end, before closing, holding right here at 212. So 212 can hold, it can push back up to 216. If this thing does not hold 212, then the next critical support right here at 210. Rising 13-day moving average also have support at the 20-day, which is at 207.83. And if that gives up, you're likely to come down to 200 flat. And maybe at some point, you're going to see Amazon closing this gap right here, close to 195. To the upside, 216 breaks, then it's heading higher. Definitely, you're going to see a much bigger move, possibly like 220 and maybe even 230. On Google, stock is down 0.62%. So Google came all the way down to 13-day moving average. If you look at my screen, it's sitting right here at 173, went back up and now trading just around that support 176. So 176 gives up. The next support down here at 173.90. Below that, we do have support at 172.34 because of these moving averages sitting next to each other, close to each other right here. There will be support, but if that support gone, and if it gives up that support, then it will likely to come down to 170 and then 164. To the upside, 176 can hold, and we get over 178. It's heading back up to 181 on Google. So this is totally different here on Tesla. I mean, this dip was created by Trump and Elon Musk. I know some people would think that, it just happened to happen, but I don't think so because S&P 500 is a big product. You cannot just bring it down, guys. So I think what the plan was, because the market already went higher near all-time highs, the tariff things are almost gone. Market does not even care about tariff anymore. The war news, definitely, I mean, forget about that one. It's not gonna work. So, what is the catalyst? Well, the fight that happened over on X back and forth, uh, you know, between the president and Elon Musk. I mean, and now you see like it's all normal. Trump saying, I love Elon, and Elon Musk coming out and saying, oh, I think I went too far, and the tweets are, all those are deleted, and now they're praising each other and possibly even, patch up. That's a patch up, right? That's what they're doing. So this dip, I think, intentionally created here because this is also a big product, but this one is a stock that can come down, instead of getting the entire market down like they did back in April, right? So this was inside job. There's a lot of trading happening with LMT and RTX. These congressmen, when women, they already knew about the attack that would come from Israel, and these stocks are gonna go ballistic, and they already bought, right? So it's not new, it's not new that these trades that are happening behind the scenes from people within the government or Congress and whatever and whatnot. And this is exactly what happened here on Tesla. And you can see, I mean, it came back, 16%, and then boom, right back up to where? I mean, look at this. From what was it? 270, 273, went back up to almost 340, guys. Huge move within just 1 week, and now it's pulling back tiny bit, and not even that much. It was green on Friday because of all the news that is going on. You would think that Tesla might be going down again, but it's not. Now, Tesla can clear and hold over this moving average, first one would be 330. I would say 330 to 334. If we can get above that level, it's going back up to 362, possibly 375 again. But if this thing does not break, then watch out for a move down here to this gap 310, and underneath that level you'll see a dump off back down to 300, which could be a nice opportunity given the fact that we have a rising 50-day moving average now sitting near 300 on Tesla. So Netflix slightly down on Friday, 0.24%, and it's holding over 1200. Now you can see, I think there is a big move coming on Netflix. And why, if you ask me, well, upper Bollinger Band not going up anymore, I think it pretty much got exhausted from this massive run up, and the lower one going up. And whenever you see a Bollinger Band squeeze pattern on any, big stock like Netflix, well, something is about to give, something is about to happen. What is going to happen? I don't know. It can possibly go higher, but given the fact that the stock is extremely overbought on longer time frame like weekly and monthly, it can possibly come down, cool off, and maybe create some opportunities for us. So 1200 gives up, then watch out for the next support right here at 1165. You can see the lower Bollinger Band also sitting close to it, 1171, which can also act as a support. If this thing clears 1220-ish right here, you can see that's where we got these moving averages. Then it's going back up to 1248 and possibly up to this previous all-time highs that was created just a couple days ago at 1262 on Netflix. So Nvidia was down just over 2% and looks like it's going to break this trend line. But so far it's holding right here. So watch out that 140 range. If that gives up, it will likely to come down to 136, and from there it can go much, much lower, like 130 to 126. Now, if this trend line is going to hold, it has to hold right here at 140. That gives up this B shape. I mean, we pretty much got the B shape completed here, guys. I mean, it was only $10 away, and we can still go there. But I would say if you're actually long from down here, or maybe in this pullback, or maybe even here, or maybe you got in here, this V shape already took place, and we pretty much recovered. This entire sell-off that we had here on Nvidia. And now the question here on Nvidia, is it going to break this trend line? Is it going to come down and cool off and close bunch of these gaps down here, or possibly that's going to happen at a later date? So watch out. 140 gives up, 136, 130, 126. Over 144, then it can go higher, possibly back up to all-time highs, which is right here near 153, 154. And that is all I have for you guys in this video. We'll definitely keep you guys updated Monday night tomorrow.